up, everybody? Welcome to K9 Street League Live, episode number 5 or 4. I can't remember, but we've done a lot of these, and today's a very special one because I have none other than my boo, Mr. Matt Wilson. How are you doing, Matt the Wolf Wilson?
Doing good, man. Getting over being sick from coming back from that Pennsylvania seminar or Pittsburgh conference. I get sick every time I leave and come back here. So
I actually have that in my in one of my notes I wrote for today's interview because I talk to you pretty much every time that you travel, and it
yeah,
seems like it's not. It seems like it happens like every single time you come
every
back,
time. Yep,
you're
I
out
get
for
sick.
like 2 to 4 days.
Yeah, I try to plan it that when I get back, and then I'll be absolutely just like I'm gonna get sick, and so then I start hammering Dayquil and like every fucking. I start trying to be an adult. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna drink water now, and like I'm gonna stop dipping, and I'm gonna like do all this stuff, and then I get sick, and then I'm like, I should continue this like good trend of feeling better, and then I just fall back into dog shit, bad things. So yeah, so I'm trying to drink water like an adult. You're welcome,
I will.
guys.
Gee, you're gonna have a lot of dolphin noises to add in because Wilson here cusses more than me on whiskey.
I cuss
um,
more than everybody.
I was going to say I was gonna make a dirty cop joke, but I just couldn't find one that wasn't as offensive that it could get away with it. Considering you always come back from sick from all these conferences and everything like that with all the cops, it's like dirty cop joke. How can I find one? But
Well, I mean, I think it's any conference. And then, like at this one of the worst things was like Gary, Worthless Handler. He put in like this, like one-off wallet that he made, and he put it in uh, Den Mother's fanny pack that I made for him. And he just wrote on there because like the thing that Gary does, it's like pretty fun at conferences, is he always does like swag hunts, like scavenger
yeah,
hunts. And so he put it in like his fanny pack, and he said, "Come and take it." And dude, we had fucking cops taking him down and tackling him. So Gary and I were like his security. So then we're just like rolling cops off of him so we can get Denmother to run away. It was a fucking shit show. Like, and I'm like, no wonder I'm sick. Like, every day is you talk and you're up from, you're at the show from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. at night, and then you're talking, going out to dinner after that, and then you're sleeping kind of. I mean, it's always a shit show. Every conference is a shit show, man.
and Matt's a very physically affectionate person, especially when it's man on man love.
Yes. Yeah. Physically, you will be loved. That's who I am. It's my love language. Thank you. Thank
There.
you.
So this kind of brings me to the first question. So now, I know you guys have been doing, and this has been years since I've been talking to you guys, and we've been working together. But you've essentially kind of restructured, Ray Allen's social presence and physical presence, right? Like you guys in the team, because I know when we first started talking, it was almost like one of those things where Ray Allen before was really it was kind of shut off to the it wasn't as personable as it is now or
Yeah.
has it become over the years. Was the event side of it kind of part of the plan, or were you guys already doing the event stuff?
We'd always done conferences. Hits was always a big one. Conferences, like smaller ones, always come up. It's kind of like small companies that like do something that like is in your niche in your area. They can pop up and do like that kind of stuff. Like we've all seen that. It's kind of the same with conferences. Some of them stay, some of them don't. For instance, like the biathlon that we got into the last couple of years, and then that something happened with that, and then now it's back. So it's like, so we didn't go to that this year, but like we're planning on it next year because like we like that, like biathlon, like the hold the line conference is pretty awesome. So we've been doing that one, and then hits we've been at since like inaugural, and I think it's been 18 years this year. So we've been at every single
Sure.
hits. So the conferences are pretty normal, but almost every conference is cop or military. Like they're
Yeah.
not civilian. Like, so there's not a lot of like civilian trainers. Some civilian trainers are there. Like for instance, like Nesbitt and like Carlos was at this one, but they were teaching. But it's not like civilian trainers are at like this conference learning. And so like stuff like that, and hits is trying to change that. They're doing like a civilian side on the front side of like their conference this year. So, and I'll have to get like the dates because I don't know them off the top of my head, but they're doing like a civilian side, to where like any dog trainer can come, like any person can come to it. And then the rest of it's just you have to be like either creds, or military, or like a part of like the show, like we are with a booth.
Is that the one? Which was the one where I put the hit on you to sack tap you?
That was St. Louis 2 years ago.
The what? No, which was that?
It was
Blue.
called Blue Line, but now it's
Uh,
called Hold the Line because I guess there was some like legal thing with the name.
this is what happens when they leave these things and
Yeah, in the
they
same
get
spot
all.
and don't touch them. Get
That's
all
what I tried.
wonky.
That's what I tried to do, and then it just gets all messed up. So
Yep.
the for those who don't know, well, the conference that's called Hold a Line now.
Yeah, it was the Blue Line conference.
That was 2 years ago where uh me totally joking, and I've had multiple conversations about this, especially with like Howard on his podcast. Uh, and I was just like, dude, I was like, when I said I was like, hey, if someone sack taps Wilson, I'll send you some stuff. Which I messaged that person and never got an address from him. I was like, I was just joking around. I didn't. I was like, I
Dude,
100% did not think that it would go out like
straight
into
put
the
a hit
world.
out on me, bro. Straight put a hit out on me.
I just got the phone call later. I think I was like, no, I called you and you're with like JD and like Aikenhead and Billy, and they're like, you're coming next time. Like, you're gonna
Yeah,
come to.
you.
All I do is I didn't
Yeah,
even know like anybody would even listen to me.
yeah, this dude hit me so hard. Like, and he did it so like there was a bunch of people sneaking up and stuff, and I was like very aware of what was going on.
Yeah.
For like 2 days, I'm like very covered. And then we're walking to this restaurant, not anywhere near the hotel, walking to this restaurant, and this random guy he was like about to go in, he was like behind some other people, and he just like didn't look like a cop, super like undercover looking,
Yeah.
just like a normal guy, opens the door and he's like, yeah, come on in. I walked through and that motherfucker took a swing, and I mean drop
Uh,
me. And he goes, I saw him this year, and I saw him this year, and he's like, yeah, I still have the photo. He was like, it's one of my favorite photos. Like,
uh,
and I'm just like humbled over, and he's like, so it's
it
pretty
was
funny.
pretty good. It went viral for a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, so it did.
I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and
So,
then I got Gary back,
oh,
so
did you
that was
get
a good
him?
one.
Oh, is that where you got him
Yeah,
with
with a
the?
rubber arm. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. It was like someone can have the rubber fist if they hit Gary in the nuts, and they did it beautifully. So
I mean, there's so many directions to go with that, but we'll just leave it that one there.
yeah, that's fine.
So, obviously we talked about like the events and then all the social media presence. So when you switched in, I know you because I've actually, I've been lucky enough to have the opportunity to be there for, your guys' like photo shoot. The one I went to when we went to like what I think it was like Victor Marx's property.
Yeah, Victor Marx's part. Yep.
Yeah, like that's all that social media push, all the stuff you guys are doing with the media and like the videos that you put out. Those are all things like I guess you guys have recently done in the last few years, right? You've implemented them or have had more focus on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I mean, if you really like look at like not social wise, because social was something like 2016, late 17. I always wanted to do it. There was a local guy here that kind of had a smaller social presence, and um, through talking, we kind of convinced like the president at the time that social media would be a good idea, and so he brought him in because he liked him. Um, he did a couple, posted 2 or 3 times, and then I ended up taking it over, and then going from there. I it was one of those where it was kind of like ask for forgiveness, instead of permission kind of thing, like, and then it started blowing up and everything was good. The new president JD, like, he's obviously very behind it, and we do a lot of social now.
Yeah.
And we're very video heavy now. We were video heavy before, but it wasn't well done videos. It was kind of just me sitting at like a table. The lights weren't good. The video was kind of just like whatever. No editing. It was just trying to make it sound good in one roll. And now it's all done like professionally with Matt's team in Virginia and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that stuff's really cool. I remember,
Yeah.
well, but trying to film with you and CT is always an adventure. So that's always a,
Yeah.
a
CT just
oh,
wait, stop, halt, no more, wait, go. And you're like, and then you start laughing. He's like, wait.
yeah, that's the joy, the fun stuff there. But that's
Yeah.
awesome. And we, well, obviously you guys are the main sponsor or the only sponsor for Street League. And kind of why I was talking about the social media and the events is, with Street League, we try to make things I guess as inclusive and event orientated as possible with everything that
Right.
we do. And now with expanding the season, really, I mean, because this is going to be the first 2 years, I guess you would say, our first full year of Street League. We try to see what the logistics look like, and how we were going to make. Because I mean, there's so much. I mean, you know 100% how much goes into putting events together, how much is even putting booths
Right.
together and doing those things. So now, with the backing that lucky enough we've had your guys' backing, we got your guys' backing with it, and putting these events together with commentators, with vendors, all those other stuff. So I see
Right.
now, with all these different trials that we've done, what it's going to take. So we're moving into kind of the first soft season of Canada Street League, which would be the California, Florida, Texas, Memphis, ending in New York season, before we go
Yeah.
down into freaking next year, where we'll do a full season, which would roughly be 8 trials.
Yeah. It's
So
wild.
that'll be a fun one. And then we're obviously going to be looking at locations again where Matt Wilson won't get in trouble, because like I said, he's very physically affectionate and he likes to talk. So but I mean, like,
I'm
that's
not
kind of
gonna.
like but that's the cool thing,
Yeah.
like kind of the group, like essentially the culture that we've cultivated together, with Primal Canine and Ray Allen, the partnership that we have, and just the collaborations that we've done, and just the overall culture and feel where it's very welcoming, type of, I guess, in like an environment. Like, that's the stuff that we're trying to spread in the sport world, and create it to where it is like fun, it is like a big fun event. Because, I mean, like, with Ray Allen, for example, like, you guys are Ray Allen manufacturer, but you guys also have that J&J dog
Right.
supplies within under the same, I guess, roof, technically, for sure.
Right.
But it's kind of one of those things where we want to unveil what Street League throughout the events, and now we're going to be doing the detection and some of the pet side stuff too. So seeing it kind of seeing it become more towards the event side, like what you guys go to, that's kind of
Right.
something that where I'm looking at, like, okay, how in the next few years, how we would be able to have almost like a conference aspect of it during Street Week, incorporating that
Yeah.
into Street League too.
Yeah. It'd be cool because I mean, you could set it up, because a couple like they're starting to do the real thing that has kind of plagued a lot of like kind of what you're talking about, which is like training specific seminars where you have dogs, you have things going on, is the vendors typically get, for lack of better words, because like we're at like a hits conference, like that's pretty simple because like really, in all honesty, no one has a dog there. Like that's kind of the whole point. Everybody's kind of a way to learn. It's a classroom kind of environment. There's a lot of talk, there's a lot of that kind of thing. And then they're like from 5 to 9 p.m. is vendor hall. So it's
Yeah.
all the vendors, and then they push everybody into the vendor hall. And then, most of the time it's like the first night there's food and it's all free food. So like they're guaranteeing people are going to be around you, right? Where like that's the hard part with something like what you're talking about because, these people, they have their dog with them. They might not be like strolling around without their dog, but if the vendors are down on the field, they can't be having their dog with them and then down on the field with you. And like,
Yep.
so there's like all this like back and forth that ends up happening. But I think that like, if you can pull it off and you can do it the right way, and like I said, like I've told everybody, like the street league last time, like in LA, that was, I mean, like I've been to trials, bunch of different trials, and like, dude, that was a wild time, man. Like the amount of like, like there's spectators and like, and it wasn't just like some, Like it wasn't like, oh, like I'm doing this and my girlfriend's here to watch me. Like you had
Yeah.
like people like actually like coming to see it, which was wild. You had that going on. You had like the DJ, like the place was filled up. And then you had like the difference, like with like all the vendors and stuff walking around. Like it was just a wild thing. I'd never seen something like that because it just really had never been done before. And it's funny because that was like on a very small spectrum of like
Yeah.
what it could be. Because like I was like what I was telling everybody else, I was like, I'm pretty sure the third race of NASCAR was still in a grass field.
Yeah.
I was like, you got a ways to go, and like just seeing all the stuff that's coming from it, like it's gonna be a wild time. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
That's
I'm
like,
pretty excited.
and that's kind of the goal, at least with the last trial of the year, is to put together something where we can do a conference like what you're saying and what you guys have
Right,
been through. And like that's where, like, I like the partnership that we have with Ray Allen's, because you guys are, like, I think I asked you, like, how what do you guys use to ship all this equipment like across there with the carrier, and like even
right,
using the one, what you just text responding to me, like that's how we found people to ship things to New York now.
right.
We get ready for the big one, but a big season ahead, lots of fun things going on with that. With Street League, and like you said, lots to go. We kind of just stepped on, it's almost like a landmine with it. We're like, oh, let's just see if this is gonna work out and go,
Right.
and then kaboom, it worked out, and
Yeah.
we're rolling here. But
Yeah, and I think the cool thing about the Street League, like the part that is exciting for us, is it's not like, it's not supporting, Street League, like it's not being like we support Primal California, but we do not support Primal Florida. Like that's the cool thing about that I think, I really like about it. It's not like Southwest region and like Northeast region. It's like this is a conglomerate of everybody,
yep,
and it really does feel like like a league. Like I know it's called Street League, but it really does feel like a league. It doesn't feel like your local dude just putting something together, and like, because like we've all been to like really, really good, well put on trials, right? Like we've all
yep,
been to like really good, whether it's Schutzen back in the day or like Mondia. Like I've been to like really good trials, and I've also been to like really low cut trials too. Like we've all been like on that spec. If you've been in this like space long enough, you've been on like that spectrum. And like the wild part is like the people that are doing it in Florida, like that was so cool about talking like when I was in LA, like all of those people, like they all felt like they were a part of it.
yep,
Like they all felt like they had a say in it. They all felt like they could have a conversation about it. They all knew what was going on. It wasn't like, well, this guy kind of teaches it this way and this one kind of teaches it this way, and like, well, this decoy only does legs, and like it wasn't that. It was like all the decoys are the same, all the decoys work the same, all the decoys do the same, and then all of them train the same. And so then like everything's equal,
yep,
and then like this is what happens and this is what we do. And then like, yeah, there's stuff that comes out from that of like, oh, this needs to be, better or whatever it is. But again, it was like 3 in, and it
no,
was like it's wild that that was what 3 in looked like. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's 5 years look like?
yeah. Well, I'm already bald, so
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I saw it took all your hair. So
yeah,
you
we're
were bald
we're
when I met you, so that's good.
I I know. Good thing we didn't sign a contract with you guys or something like that, where I
Well,
had to like
this
have
is the thing. This is the thing that pisses
to.
me off, man. I used to be the skinny one. Okay. You
This is
used to be the
true.
fucking fat one, dude. And this pisses me off, dude. I saw a video of myself in fucking Pittsburgh and I was like, oh fuck. Okay. I'm gonna need to start fucking running or doing whatever the fuck Mike's
What
doing. This is
what
some bullshit.
what was my I was gonna send this to you, but I don't know what happened. I know I screenshot it, but God, it was when we first launched the suit, and
Yeah,
I
and we're
remember
standing next to each other.
yeah, and like you're wearing the old school
Old
one, and
school.
then
Right. Yeah.
I'm wearing the one that barely looks like it's gonna go over my belly.
Right, right, right.
And then we did the
It was
like
just trade heads.
yeah. dude, it's freaking it's a while. We've been knowing each other for a long time, but
Yeah,
that's one of the cool that is the cool thing about the development of not only Street League that we've been able to do essentially together. Because for those, if you guys haven't listened to me and Matt talk before, me and Matt talk pretty frequently, like on friend levels as well as
right,
business. So like as I was developing Street League, you were well aware of it and stuff that I was like
right.
talking about, and just some of the products that we've done too. So seeing like the products that we've done together, we just dropped freaking the incog, or I don't know when this is going to come out, but we just dropped the incog shirt,
Yeah,
2 days ago, which by the way, I need some more pockets because I need to order more
yeah. I
shit.
figured. Yeah,
Yeah, that went kaboom, and now we're having to do more, so which is awesome. But like that's one of the cool things about like all the stuff that we're doing into all the stuff we're doing from products to Street League, just the working relationship that we have, and just kind of being able to bounce certain things off you and then you guys vice versa or whatever like that,
yeah,
just to overall improve. And one of the coolest things is to see it all work out.
right.
Like from Fat Mike trying to do the Chris Farley Fat Man in a little coat with the suit with the suit
Right,
top to how well, even from there, and just changing that suit top to like, the banner you have behind you to that
right,
suit with
right.
Ozzy, and freaking Ozzy can be I think we need to like put him in the notes, like for the details of the suit, be like,
Yeah, just this is why this works so well.
this is
The
why,
fucking
because
monster.
I think one year, I mean, in 3 months, I went through 5 suit tops, right? Was it
Yeah,
to the point where
yeah, because he just
the
kept ripping
lady
the arms off.
to the point where the lady who makes the suits got really frustrated with me and sewed on arms upside down.
Yeah,
So it was,
I don't think that was on purpose, but
they're like this. I was like, so I know you guys have been launching a bunch of things like crazy. The fanny pack that
yeah,
blew up. Is that thing still going pretty nuts right now?
it's wild still. Yeah, I mean, even at Pittsburgh, I think I brought like four of each color, and they all sold out in the first day. Like people buying multiples of them, which is wild because like I've wanted to do a fanny pack for a while, and even like you made fun of me because I had a fanny pack like years ago. Like everybody made fun of me, and now it's like the cool thing to have, and I'm like, like
Well, we had
yeah,
the fanny pack. What else? You guys have something else you guys were, or no, the elusive. You guys switched the elusive
yeah, Lucid
collars,
Bungee. Yep, Lucid Bungee.
and then
Yeah.
am I missing anything else that you guys have just come out with?
So this year we're gonna have so we have the fanny pack, the elusive bungee. We're gonna have a new chest plate for the Nomad,
Okay,
a reinforced chest plate. So like the chest plate in itself was totally fine. It works, it's functional and everything with that. But if you're gonna put in some real work on the dog, then the reinforced chest plate is kind of where you want to go with it. And it's just kind of all like it makes sense. I made a video about it that's actually coming out either this week or next week. But and then we're going to do a bottom bucket, which is goes on the Nomad, and what it does disperses the two straps if you're lifting the dog instead of having the two straps. Kind of almost make like a tire, fat tire, and like that's getting lifted. Now that disperses all that pressure so that the dog isn't getting like pulled up on it.
nice.
Um, and then we're looking at a whole new collar system that Matt and I are coming up with, and how to kind of like make that. And then I got some like special little ones, and then I got something coming down the pipe early 2024 that's been like leaking out of there, and it's the new harness. And it's on Call of Duty Rex right now, and this guy Sawyer Clark that's in Utah, that's a long distance shooter. He's running one to test it, and then the PJs are also testing it for me. So
Nice.
that's gonna just easy stuff. We're looking for more stuff with like we had talked about some products for like puppy stuff. And so like doing that down the line, and then also some other leather work stuff since that's coming back. So
I got the plethora of ideas. You probably can
oh,
scroll
I
through your
know.
phone and be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this is Mike at
yeah,
12 o'clock at night," being like, "Matt, let's
yeah.
do a puppy leather wedge system or some."
Yeah,
or
we did. Um, we
or
sent it
the
to you. I think it's on your fucking mantle. Um,
yeah, that's the one I will not.
you won't touch because it's too pretty.
It is way too pretty. It's still up there. It's still
Yeah. But yeah, so stuff like that. The other thing is like we're gonna do like a Ray Allen version of the training like skirt. So instead of having like a skirt traditionally, we're gonna do it kind of in my way. It'd be not better would not be the right way to say it, but like modular. So people are going to be able to build their own skirts that they want to use.
yeah.
So if they want to do a full skirt, if they want to do just the back, if they want to do just pockets up front, whatever they want to do. So we're going to do something like that. But yeah, so we got a lot of ideas coming down the line for you guys out there, for training and dogs and shit. What else?
Katie's gonna be very excited about the skirt. I think one of the
I
first
know he
times
is.
like one of the very first times I talked to him, and I was like talking about some of like I forgot what project you and I think we were working on the Incog sweater at the time,
Hancock, yeah.
and then he was just like, "Oh man," he's like, "You got to have him do a skirt," and like that's when I was bugging you about it,
Yeah.
because I think you had that modular belt system.
Yeah, yeah, and so like, and it was funny because like he hit me up and we talked about it. And like he's got a great idea. It's just the problem is I don't know how to implement it.
Yeah,
Like the idea is great. Making it's going to be so, and then you have to look at like how much is someone willing to pay for a training skirt. Like I know it can be bougie and like all these other small guys that are making like some of these bougie sweaters now, and like that kind of thing. And you like look at the price on them and they're like $200 for a sweatshirt, and I'm like, holy fuck, like I don't like I'm cool, like I like Gucci shit, but god dang, like like we have to weigh that out. What's the
yeah,
average person want to like spend their money on? Because if we're only marketing to, you or, that kind of thing, like that's not our entire market. Our entire market is everybody.
yeah. I mean, like, and
So,
that's I ran into that kind of issue too, because just some of the new things that we're gonna do with the Incog line.
right. Yeah.
It's even like that, you're like, because I mean, everyone can know this. I mean, the Incog sweater or the Incog shirt, those are at cost, those are not inexpensive items. I like, because people we were talking about the price point. I think it's 48.99 is the what we sell them for, and I forgot what I was like talking to G and like the group, and I was like, man, I was like, I felt bad. I was like, dude, it's like $50 t-shirt, and then
dude,
we
dude,
broke
you know
down
what
the
Billy
cost.
said?
What?
Billy was like, how the fuck are you selling that for only $50?
See, so I'm telling you, if I didn't find the seamstress or like the
That's the key right there.
I mean, like I can't even. The setup is all is like, one of those things when it's like too good, and then
Right.
you're like, all right, where's this gonna mess up? Like
Hmm.
from One Life to Primal to where the seamstress is, it's like a triangle, and we're half a mile from each other in each
It's
way.
perfect. Right.
So it literally goes like One Life, I'll go One Life, to the better, or I forgot, Proud of Me, which is the just this lady named Gigi. She's a straight gangster. She did all those, like all that little pocket stitching thing. She said she got it done in like a few hours. She's just like,
Yeah.
she just got it done. It's all like super
Dude,
nice.
some of
Like,
those like sewing machine operators are gangsters, dude.
dude,
Like they put it and they're done. Like,
she's
yeah.
a beast. So
Yeah.
but so if it wasn't for that, shout out to Gigi. Everyone else should shout out to Gigi too, because if it wasn't for her, there's no way I'd be able to hit that price point. What
Yeah.
the way I could hit it, because yeah, man. Like we're at cost. That thing is,
Oh, I know.
you know, but it's cool. So I'm really excited to see that
Yeah.
come out, and then the other collaboration I talked to you about
Yeah.
later with that one too. So that'll be another big one coming
Yeah.
out from that one.
Yeah, we should let's plan something early like August time frame. And really like sit down and like have that conversation so we're not waiting.
Yeah.
So
No,
let's plan for that. But
and another thing we've been talking about too. is what doing it with Street League, Primal Canine, and Ray Allen is coming back out to Colorado and working some
Yeah,
dogs and doing some stuff because we did do that what 3 years ago, 4 years
4 years
ago
ago. Yeah. I mean, I
back at
still had a
Ethos.
compound, so it was before 2020.
Are you is that place gone now?
I mean, we still have it, and just don't. I mean, we could still have something there if we wanted to.
Yeah, because that's what Dan that was. Yeah, dang, that was before.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
like 19, I think.
Yeah, because I was
That
still
was
very
pre. That was
I was
Yeah, that was
very big. I was
pre-pandemic.
very big. I was very big, Mike, at that time.
Yeah, yep.
And Jamoke saved my
And
life.
you had the crazy like just top hair. It was
Yeah,
like wild, and it would like and come down to here. You're like, oh
and then the beard that from that trip permanently smelled like
yeah,
Jameson.
yeah. Your fucking that beard was wild, bro.
The one thing I am disappointed about Colorado, besides the lack of Rocky Mountains, um,
The lack of fit,
the
they're right there.
we took the photo out there, me and Aaron. She's like, because it was that Dumb and Dumber quote.
Right.
These are
Yeah.
John Denver's full of shit.
John Denver's full of shit.
We did that over there, but I was actually anticipating being a cheaper date with the drinks when I was going out there because everyone's like, you're gonna, you better watch out when you start drinking in Colorado because you're gonna get this. And I'm like, nope, all I got was altitude sickness working
Yep.
dogs. I was tired for one dog.
Yep.
And then after that, I was like just death because before, over going from California, that's what it was. It was the second Street League trial that we were gonna do. We were trying to do it in Colorado with you
Right.
guys, and then at that new facility.
Mm-hmm.
So I warned all of the decoys. I told them, I was like, hey, I was like, I don't know if you guys have ever decoyed in Colorado before. I was like, but like, oh no, I just heard like if you drink, you'll get like drunk quicker. I was like, I don't know about that one, but I was like, if you if you decoy dogs, it's like you better have a healthy respect for altitude because you're gonna like you'll learn pretty quickly. Because I mean, one or two dogs, and I was pretty
Yeah.
messed up, and then I forgot like Achilles was Achilles. With the
Achilles.
lady,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Big Shepherd.
yeah, like I forgot. I think that dog Nexus, which is
Uh-huh.
so. If you ever wondered why
Oh,
the
right.
Ray Allen semi comp suit has a plate as a chest protector, my left nipple is why. There's a
Yeah.
dog named Nexus that came up and got a hold of it, and this is also the time where I learned about altitude sickness. So I get that, and
Yeah.
I
And that was
walk.
that yellow and black suit too. That was tiny.
Oh yeah, that thing was paper thin.
That thing was legit dangerous, like to be in.
That's
Like that one
we
was.
we went. I traveled to New York. I did two states. I ended up having to get like another. I ended up having to get a suit sent or something like that to me
Yeah.
because this dog named Reese out in New York blew out the bottom end of it, and then we went to Memphis, and I was just like at that point that thing was gone, and then you guys got the suit top back, and I think you put like special fabric in the arm. And then
Yeah.
Ozzy decided special
Popped
fabric
it.
wasn't special and decided
Hmm.
to just destroy it. And then it ended up whatever. But now the one suit is in the Foot Locker inside of 110 Gilroy and as a display item
Yeah.
forever.
Who was that young guy? It's like Decoy 95 or whatever that was wearing it that one time. It was
Oh,
like,
Steven Litzel. Yeah.
yeah, dude. I remember I hit him up and I was like, how'd that feel? He goes, I don't know why the fuck you guys made that suit. And I was like, that's a Mike Jones special. Like,
Oh,
he
he's
goes, that
a
thing is like, he goes, that was dangerous to be in. And I was like, oh, I know.
no, yeah, and Steven's a young dude, but that guy's been freaking working dogs since he was like
Yeah,
10 or something like
forever.
that. So
Yeah,
he definitely knows what's up with that
yeah,
stuff. No, that's it. Well, I mean, there's lots of improvements to that suit has been made,
very much so.
and you guys are welcome because I
Yeah,
was the test
yeah.
dummy
You have to
for
take the
that.
brunt of it. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it.
And, everyone wonders why we have the gauntlet system. There you go. There's your answer.
100%. Dude, I always wanted to make like a KMPV suit, but for
Yeah.
Americans. Like that was the whole like idea that started with that. Like leather underneath, super thin suit, and just have them hammer it.
Oh, I mean, it worked. I mean, I
Yeah,
built quite the dog, quite actually
yeah,
quite a few dogs off that system
yeah,
that are all monsters and to
yeah,
blow through things. But yeah, I mean, that is quite the system. Speaking of that, we got
yeah.
a little update to that one too. I
Oh, you got
some
some
fun
updates
stuff
for it?
for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot. Let's see. So we have you. Are you done with conferences now? Or are you? Is there like a
No, because
season
I mean,
for
we
it?
got hits in August.
It's in August,
Yeah,
and then
hits is
are we?
always in August.
It's in August, and then we're May, June, July. So hopefully we can get out to October before then,
Hmm.
or October. Hopefully we can get to Colorado
Yeah,
before
yeah,
then, because we're gonna go this week. We go pro camp. I do
right,
my invitation only decoy cert, a little bit of a research for some of the older decoys, and then we have the last workshop of the season before we head to uh trials, and then shoot, next year we go international next year, venture out to Mexico City. So I'm doing a seminar out there, helping the club get started. So Street League will go international. Well, I mean, the idea with Street League was never to be a national sport, is to be a world
right.
sport. And that's kind of the goal that we're going at
Oh,
it
okay,
with.
cool. Not a patriot, I see.
Oh,
Okay.
it is.
Wow. Wow. Okay. This is a USA made company, sir. Okay.
Yeah, of course. But we call it, so we're as we move out into the world doing everything that we're doing with it, it's gonna be pretty interesting. Especially, now we'll be unveiling another partner with Ray Allen, Michael Nesbitt, who's going to be doing the detection aspect of Street League. We'll be unveiling the EL side of detection here at New York, and the rules to that should be coming out here pretty soon too. So a lot of cool things that we'll be able to dip into it. I'm sure it'll be cross train in with Ray Allen equipment. I mean, that's one of the cool things too. I mean, I don't know of any other sport that has an actual like section for training gear on like a major manufacturer's website. And that
No.
like that thing still trips me out, man. Every time I go to copy and paste like the railon.com / K9SL and see that stuff, I'm always like, dude, like that's pretty freaking wild. And that's also really cool too. From like, I like it for in the aspect of when we were kind of picking everything, that
Right.
the one of the hardest things to do that I found when, the years ago, well, obviously this is before the internet, because Jesus, that's how old. Like, I'm not even that old. I'm 38 years old, and like I just said, before
You're
the
old.
internet, with like did like, well, yeah, I mean mentally I'm just not that old, but like, I forgot, like that was one of the more complicated things, is going to somewhere like a catalog or online
Right.
and trying to find everything that you need to train in for that particular sport, train
Dude,
and
I mean,
trial.
I had the internet and I didn't even know Ray Allen was down the street before I worked here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like that's like like that's what I was that story of like I was buying Ray Allen gear and I never keep receipts, and then one day I looked and it said like Colorado Springs. I was like, I don't live in Colorado Springs, and it was like, oh, holy shit, that's in the same. That's right now. I've been paying $12 in shipping. Are you shitting me?
And Ethos is like 20 minutes away,
Yeah,
or
not even.
was.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah,
but that's the cool thing about the partnership with Rail and the Street League and the stuff like that, is that you can literally go to the website and buy everything that you need for
yeah,
Street League. Plus, I mean, the Street League stuff that we do and how it is essentially so you can cross train in other sports. So rayallen.com / Canine SL would be your spot for all your sport training needs. Don't forget,
you
look, to see my
plug, plug,
shameless
plug,
plug
plug,
here.
plug,
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 plug.
plug, 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 plug.
Also, Primal 10 is the discount code.
It definitely is.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, shit, man.
I
What?
just want to say like it's been many years doing this with you, and it's been kind of a wild ride up, like bunch of ups and bunch of ups and a bunch of ups, and it's been kind of crazy, and it's to the point to where like all these people are like awkwardly envious about it, where it's like it's like the questions that you get, like how did you get in with Ray Allen, or
Yeah.
like people ask me like like why'd you pick Mike Jones, and I'm like, I didn't pick anybody. Like I'm like, I was just like slid into them DMs, and like he was the only one not to be like, well, I think you should run your business this way. And I'm like, yeah, I don't do that, man. I don't run the business. Like, it's not me. So, yeah, dude, I don't know. It's been a extremely fortunate thing, man. So I
Oh
always want to
yeah.
say, much love and love the partnership, but also like the friendship has been, better than anything. So,
Hell yeah, brother. That's why
mhm.
that's one of
Brother,
the brother. That's what
the hard R,
the
jeez.
heart. Yes, sir. That's I was listening I was listening to a podcast earlier and they're talking about Amish guys and it's like I forgot it was like hardworking Randy. And he's like with the hard R his name they called him hard R for this Amish dude. I was like, I'll just send it to you because obviously you guys know you work with Amish.
Yeah,
No, I think
a
that's the
swing and a
coolest.
miss.
That's one of the coolest things about like our the partnership is like the friendship aspect of it, but also I think that's why we have the success that we have within the collaborations and everything that goes outside of it too. I mean, like that's because it's genuine, like that's I think
Right.
a lot of the industry and a lot of stuff that happens in business is some people are kind of using each other for certain elements or certain things, and there is no real fakeness to it. And it's not like
Right.
we're trying to get something out of you guys, you're trying to get something out of us. It's just one of those things where we just talk about certain things. We happen to click very well on a personal level and have some of the same
Hmm.
moral and ethics and stuff. So I mean that's the cool thing. That's the one of the funniest things that I do remember because you said people who are obviously like jealous with certain like certain things with us and the Ray Allen thing. And
Right.
I like to me, it was always like I never really. It was always like really cool. Like it was always just like one of those things where I was like, oh damn, I still remember the day that you did DM me all creepily, and I was in the
Yeah.
back of the Morgan Hill, and I'm like, I told Aaron, I was like, look at this shit. I was like, this is really happening because I think we were barbecuing. It was like our day off or night. It was like we're just kenneling, and I was like, dude, you see this? And then next, thing you know, we were like over there, doing things, but it is pretty interesting, like how people reacted to it. But I mean, it's been a few years now, or
Hmm.
4+ years, and a lot of crazy things going on. And I hope that people can actually like, realistically look at it too and be like, man, I was like, these guys are actually like, pumping out stuff, pumping a lot of good stuff out,
Yeah.
and actually, creating a positive change in the culture. And, it's not just this partnership to where like everyone's kind of like stroking each other all the time,
Right.
yeah, but but it's also something that we do to make things change, make a positive change in the industry, make a positive change in manufacturing certain things, and obviously, just because I mean I will say this, once I started seeing you guys starting to push more product and be kind of like changing the game in as far as like manufacturing and innovating, I noticed a lot of other companies started pushing too. So I mean, it's not really, I don't look at it as
Just
a
awesome.
yeah, I don't think it's like a competition thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just
Mm-mm.
awesome that it opened people's eyes as not just sticking at the same thing, making the same stuff over, or like dressing the same stuff over, but like
Right.
expanded, had people start getting creative, whether they got creative because they wanted to compete with what you guys or what we were doing, but they got
Hmm.
creative because they saw that they're like, oh hey, and it maybe sparked something in them to start
Yeah,
pushing more.
which is actually awesome, right? I mean, like a lot of people, it's like we've had our, outside the camera conversations of like,
Yeah,
like, did you see who is making this now? Like, and we have those kind of conversations, and and the funny part is, if they would see you like, 4 years ago, if we were having this conversation, they'd be like, holy shit, he's angry. Like
yeah,
you were like
very true.
you get so fired up. And then like and now it's like okay, let's just make it better than them now. Like we had
Yep,
that initial idea and like that, and then it's like, oh, okay, like they, like someone else wants to make something like that, cool. But that was 6 products ago. Now we're on our 10th, like it's like you had the one, that's cool. Like we're just gonna keep innovating and keep going, and like and there's enough piece of the pie for everybody,
absolutely.
but we want to make sure that like that we're doing it the right way, right? We're paying homage to like Ray Allen, the original Ray Allen, that we're paying, and we're also paying homage to like the new generation of trainers like you and Nesbitt and Carlos and like those kind of guys. Like we want to play, we want both sides. We want, we want to make the traditional working dog gear, and then we also want to make things like the dog trainer fanny pack, and
Yeah.
like and merge it all together and have a good time, because I think too many people get stuck on, oh man, like Matt always says, there's not a lot of ways that we haven't wrapped, nylon or leather around a dog.
Yeah.
Like it's been done, so like you can innovate it, you can add things to it, you can make it look better, look worse, whatever, but there's not a lot of ways to do it. So now really the time is, how do you make it yours? How do you make it, what the customer's looking for and the end user and the people that are on the street and, in clubs and doing stuff like that? How do we make sure they're getting the equipment that they're going to use, and really set forward to like change their dog's life? Because that's the most important part for us,
Yeah.
is making sure that like the dogs that like someone's getting is the best dog for them, and we're making the best equipment for them for their dog, and that's what we want.
Oh, definitely. I mean, and one of the cool things about Ray Allen is that it's all, essentially either manufactured, assembled, or made in at your guys' spot
Yeah.
in freaking
Hmm.
Colorado Springs, which is awesome. And, I've been to the warehouse and people always like, oh, it's the giant like manufacturing, maybe fulfillment center. I was like, nope. I've played around in there, like I wrapped leather around my arms when we were
Yep.
developing the incog thing, like or not the incog, the dequarmer. I was like, it's a
Yeah.
small shop, and like probably 8 machines or 4 machines down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
A
it is
little
pretty
bigger
funny.
now, but yeah.
Yeah, I think like the event where you talk about like when I got really mad, that was one of the first times I think we ended up hanging out, and that was when I was like, that was the incog, which was like my baby, like
Yeah.
that was like the
Yeah. Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
like I
That
was
was the
like,
pocket too. That wasn't even the hoodie
yeah,
yet.
yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
even the hoodie. We were still talking about how to do the hoodie and like the pocket one. And like that was like I was obviously everyone who knows me knows I'm fairly passionate about what I do and protective
Not
over
at all.
these things. So I saw this thing, me and Aaron, and this is just for fun, but me and Aaron were flying home, I think from with you guys, right? Or
Hmm.
we were in the airport somewhere.
Yeah. And I just get this text message. It's like, are you kidding me?
It's
And then come
gone
to find out, it's like it's not even close.
not even
But
remotely.
just like, but like how they of it, it just looks so close to what we
The
were doing, and it
timing,
was
because
like,
we just
yeah,
announced
yeah,
it
yeah.
too. I was like,
No,
it
100%.
was just extra petty. But I'm glad to say that I have come to terms with myself on that, and now
Oh, dude,
I just
yeah,
die inside.
we had it, dude. We posted I posted the first like video of the dog trainer fanny pack, and
Yeah.
literally the next day, a company was like, "We're making a fanny pack," and I was like, "Really?" Like, and it wasn't even like dog trainer related. It was like just making a fanny pack.
Yeah. Oh
And like
God.
every comment was like, "Can you put food in this?" And they're like, "We're looking we're looking into how to do that." And then it was like, "Can you carry this?" And it was like, "We're looking into how to do that." Like, and I was like, "It's like
They're just
whatever." Like it's just you're just trying to get in the hype, Like it just is what it is, and like people are gonna do that because like that's the cool thing about like what we do is like we're like, hey, can we do this? And like same thing like I said before, man. You came to me with 10 ideas that like I was like already been done, not going to do it, already been done. And you were like, oh, okay, okay, okay. And then it was like, hey, have you ever, like, hey, have you ever like had treats in your pocket and stuff and like it gets all gross? And I was like, yeah, man, I want to do it like a liner. And you were like, yeah, like, and it could be like incognito. And I was like, yeah, like, and we just like went, oh my God. It's like,
pretty much
yeah.
the
Yeah, it was,
uh,
dude. I remember it because like I still had that like hoodie and those pants that like Panda had eaten
yep.
like out the hoodie, and I was like wearing it at the time, and I was like, holy shit! I was like, how serendipitous is this? Like, it's
We
wild. So
we have a lot more incog commercials coming out. We just pounded some out. We'll be doing some more when you guys get that other stuff to us too. But
awesome. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff coming to you. So
well, shoot, man, I got to wrap this up as usual. Always a
cool,
good
man.
time talking to you, brother. Appreciate you
Always.
to let everybody know at the Ray Allen team that we said what's up, and appreciate them as well. Again,
Definitely.
guys, Ray Allen is the main sponsor of Canine Street League and our Drinks and Dogs and pretty much our podcast here. So make sure you guys check them out, rayallen.com /K9SL. Also, don't forget to use the Primal 10 code for an additional discount. And yeah, as you guys probably heard, they've got tons of stuff there going on and some new stuff coming out. The Incog shirt just dropped. You can get that at primalk9.com in the shop. We do have some sizes are limited if we have any stock by the time this has come out, but we're working on getting some more stuff there. This is why my formal asking of Wilson for the fabric is just happening live on this podcast. So yeah,
Just happens to happen.
just having to happen. But appreciate you, brother. And then yeah.
Love you, man.